on the University of East London and the impact of a British education. I'm joined today by Caitlin Benania, our International Recruitment Officer. Caitlin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, thanks so much for that, Mark. My name is Caitlin Benania, and I am the Americas Recruitment Officer here at the University of East London. I look after students coming from the Americas, and today I'm joined by my colleague Mark Whitfield, and we will be discussing studying at the University of East London as an international student, as well as the impact of a British education. Without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Mark to get us started.
Thank you. Okay, so basically, guys, we're going to cover a few things today in this presentation, and one of the things that we really want to do here is not just promote UEL and the many fantastic reasons why you should choose us to study as a study destination, but also the UK and the impact that that can have on your future career. Because after all, the University of East London is a careers-led university that puts a lot of emphasis into employability and career development through our mental wealth modules and programme. But just to touch base on the UK in general, what is the value of a British degree? You know, UK higher education degrees and qualifications are recognised globally. They're recognised by industry, by employers, by universities around the world. So the impact of having a British degree means that it will be recognised globally and will open you up to much bigger kind of job opportunities around the world. The standards of a British degree are incredibly high. And year after year, universities in the UK are tested for how well they are performing and meeting challenges. What that basically means is UK higher education or British degrees follow strict government guidelines, which assesses the quality of that degree. And it also looks at how that degree is meeting industry standards. So, for example, what is taught, is that relevant to the industry? And then thirdly, employers want, it is at the end of the day about employability. The idea of getting a degree is about getting a good job at the end of it. So employers want high quality employees who have specific skill sets, including effective, critical and creative thinking. And that's where the University of East London really is unique, because as part of our careers-led initiative on Vision 2028, the university puts a lot of emphasis in mental wealth, which is career development. The idea at East London is, whilst you're studying a degree, you will also study a module called mental wealth, which looks at career development. It enhances your soft skills. For example, it offers you opportunities to take an internship. So it makes you very employable and very, very favourable on the jobs market. Next slide, please. And that's exactly what it is. It's a competitive global jobs market. It is competitive out there, folks. The jobs market now is very competitive. Major employers do prefer UK graduates, and that's taken from the Times and also taken from other sources such as UCAS, for example. It is not unusual that major employers around the world, such as Microsoft, big Amazon, for example, major businesses and corporations do prefer UK graduates, primarily because of the quality of a UK degree. And let's not forget, in terms of internship opportunities, and it's something that if you look at UEL's degrees, it's something that the University of East London does provide in most of its courses, which is internships. The UK is home to world-leading major companies who have set up shop here in the United Kingdom. and we are home to a lot of big kind of head offices for major companies, Barclays, for example, Bloomberg, Goldman Sachs. So major, big companies. Also engineering companies and firms, architecture, Fosters and Partners. So there are big global companies which operate around the world but have the head office in the UK. It's very important for you as a student in terms of getting that hands-on experience. And the great thing is that East London has these links with a lot of these businesses. But let's look at the UK in general. The United Kingdom has the lowest level of employment in Europe, and employment continues to grow. Opportunities continue to grow. The economy is continuing to grow despite the current pandemic. The United Kingdom's economy is actually on track to bounce back by 2023. But at the moment, we have the lowest levels of unemployment in Europe. And with Brexit now behind us, the United Kingdom is looking towards the wider world. We're looking at key partnerships in South and Southeast Asia. And also, we're now looking at leaders in business. The UK is a leader in business, digital tech, healthcare, and technology. These are key subject areas that UEL not only specialises in and has some excellent rankings in, but also the United Kingdom as a whole is a leader in business. We've been doing this as a country for a long time. We have a very successful economy, and our country obviously is home. It's one big melting pot of people from around the world. London is a fantastic place. And if you're looking at kickstarting your career, obviously choosing the UK would be a good choice, but also choosing the University of East London as a careers-led university would be a good starting point. Next slide, please. And then let's look at the key facts, just to summarize on the kind of key facts for you to take away with you as a student who's looking at the UK. And no doubt, I'm sure you're looking at other countries. But let's just look at the UK in general. Quality. As I said, our degrees are recognised worldwide. They also undergo strict kind of conditions set by the UK government to ensure that the quality of that degree is up to standard and meets the needs of industry. Affordability. The United Kingdom, our degrees are much more cheaper, you could say, than, for example, America and Australia and Canada. So it is when you look at how much a British degree costs in comparison to other countries, actually it's much more affordable. But also the length in which that degree is delivered is much shorter. For example, in the United Kingdom, it takes 3 years to take a degree, whereas in most other countries, it takes 4 years. And for example, a master's normally in the UK takes 1 year, where in other countries it can take 2. And the reason for that is because the United Kingdom has a education system, which, yeah, it is more kind of full-time in the way it's delivered. It's much more practical-led and teaching-led. So it's kind of teaching delivered rather than you, for example, going to regurgitate a book that you've read and then sitting an exam at the end. Where in the UK, it's assessed on performance, so practical sessions, essays, presentations, reports, also leading on projects and also internships. And then lastly, relevance. As I said, UK degrees are recognised around the world, but the important thing is, particularly at the University of East London, it meets the needs and standards of industry. So what we do, for example, as a university is we look at industry. Let's take, for example, business. We look at the business sector and we look at what we are teaching. If we notice, for example, that there is a skills gap, so there's not many people in the sector with particular skills in a particular subject area, then we will then focus on that. But we also, very uniquely, we liaise with employers. So we actually liaise with employers and say, look, what are you looking for in your future graduates? What do you want in a graduate? An employer such as Amazon, who we have a partnership with, will tell us. They will say to us, well, we actually prefer our graduates to have these skill sets. We then build that into our degree. So very much relevance. On that note, let's talk about the University of East London. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague, who's now going to talk about the University of East London in a bit more detail.
Thank you so much for that, Mark. Before I go into detail about studying at UEL, I just want to talk about London first. So this quote says, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. And I really think that this quote captures the beauty and the essence of London. It's an extremely diverse city filled with excitement and opportunities. And I think my favorite thing about London is that you never know what's waiting for you around the corner. There is so much to do in London. I have been living in London for 3.5 years now, and I still haven't done everything that there is to do here. And I don't think there are that many places in the world that give you the same kind of thing that London provides you. So this is a photo of our Docklands campus. We've got 3 campuses, all based in East London. The Docklands is our main campus. We are one of the few London universities that has on-campus accommodation, which I will talk a bit more about in the next few slides. And as you can see, our students live right on the river. We're located right on the river. They get to wake up to that gorgeous view. As you can see, we are in a residential setting, but we do benefit from having an on-campus tube station, which connects us to the rest of London, and it makes transportation incredibly easy. So like I said before, we've got 3 campuses based in East London. The university's roots can be traced back to 1892, and we gained university status in 1992. We've got a student population of 17,000 students, 20% of which are international students. And we've got a wide variety of subjects spread across 6 schools. You can view all of the courses that we offer on our website, but just to give you a snapshot, we've got the School of Education, School of Business and Law, School of Health, Sport and Biosciences, School of Art and Creative Industries, Architecture and Computing, as well as our School of Psychology. So do be sure to stay tuned for our sessions throughout the day to meet with our academics from these schools. And what did I study at the University of East London? Like my colleague Mark said, we are London's careers-led university. We've placed mental wealth and industry experience at the core of everything that we do. And as part of your degree, we've embedded a module that will mold your emotional, social, physical, and cultural intelligence. And it's these skills that will open doors to the future world of work, whether it be an internship, a placement, or that dream job. All of our programs have internship and placement opportunities, which give students such as yourself the opportunity to gain industry experience over a 6 to 12-month period. But not just that, we are one of the world's top 200 modern universities and overall top 750 universities. We are the top modern university in London, and we've got a student satisfaction rate of 85%. And 94% of our graduates are in employment or some type of further education within 6 months of receiving their degree. And just to compare studying at UEL with one of the top destinations for other international students to study in the US, it's free to apply to the University of East London, so you've literally got nothing to lose, whereas in the US, the application fee right off can be anywhere between $50 and $85. We participate in admission, which means from the moment you submit your application, we will aim to send you your decision within 2 to 4 weeks. Whereas in the US, if you were to apply, you might be waiting several weeks or several months before you receive any kind of update on your application. And like my colleague Mark mentioned, you are saving time and money by studying in the UK. So master's degrees are only a year long in the UK. At UEL, all of our master's degrees are 1 year long, with the exception of those with placement years. But like I said, the placement years are optional. So you're looking at 1 to 2 years of study, and you are saving quite a bit of money as well. So tuition fees, they vary depending on your program, but they will range anywhere between 20 and 22,000 US dollars. Whereas in the US, it starts at about 20 and can go all the way up to 60,000 US dollars, and textbooks are not included, whereas at the University of East London, they are. So you will be expected to upfront the cost of any of your textbooks. And living on campus. So all of our rooms on campus are private and en suite, meaning that you get your own room and your own bathroom. You will just share the kitchen, and you'll be sharing between 3 and 5 other students. So it's perfect for anyone that loves, being social, but also enjoys having their own space as well. Accommodation starts at 8,000 US dollars per year, and I do get this question quite a bit, but meal plans are not compulsory. All of our rooms on campus come with their own kitchen. It's a fully equipped kitchen, so you'll be able to cook your own meals. We are also walking distance to the local grocery store, so you are more than welcome to buy your own groceries and cook your own meals. And hope you found this presentation informative and insightful. Do stay tuned for our other sessions throughout the day. If you've got any questions at all, do feel free to with us in the international office. Our email is international@uel.ac.uk, and we look forward to speaking with you all very soon. Thank you for joining us today.